All right, so we talked about arcs and central angles in the last video. Now what we're going to focus on is looking at inscribed angles. And just to review, you guys talked about this on Tuesday, the idea of an inscribed angle. It's an angle that is formed by two chords that intersect at a point on the circle. So like in this case, this is your inscribed angle. The vertex is on the circle and its two other sides are on the circle too. Now, when we look at the inscribed angle, something is created, and that is called the intercepted arc. And the arc lies in the interior of the angle, so it's on the two other vertices of the angle, okay? So in this case, your intercepted arc is a minor arc, and we're going to call it AC. Now, if an angle is inscribed, then it is half the measure of the arc. So here's just an easy way just to remember this. All right, so your inscribed angle equals half the arc. Okay, so just remember that. Inscribed angle, that should be a G, not a, that should be a D, not a G, but an inscribed angle equals half the arc. So looking at this, all right, so angle equals half arc. Because this is an inscribed angle, I'm trying to find out what BAC is. So what do I know? Do I know my angle or do I know my arc? And in this case, I know my arc. So it's 1/2 of 100. So what's half of 100? 50. So angle BAC is 50. Okay. All right, so looking at this one. All right, so angle equals half arc. So in this case, what do I know? Do I know my angle or do I know my arc? And in this case, it looks like I know what my angle is. So 10 equals half of BC. Well, BC is the arc that we're trying to find. So half of what gets me 10? So we could multiply both sides by 2 or divide by 1/2, and you guys would get it to be 20. That's what BC is. Okay, so let's look at something a little bit more complicated. In this case, I have 90, I have 160 for these two arcs. Okay, I know that in a circle, it's 360 degrees. So I have 90 and 160. That's 250. So that means that this arc right here is 110. So I know AB is 110. Okay, A to B. All right, so let's try to find an angle. Let's try to look at angle A. So what angle or what arc goes with angle A? And it looks like its endpoints are at A or at C and B. So if you guys remember, it's half arc. So in that case, it's half of 160, which is going to be 80. All right, let's look at angle B. Angle B is right here. And it looks like it goes through this point C and A. So we're going to be looking at half of 90, which is 45. Okay. And then C is half of 110, and that's 55. Okay. So just keep in mind that when we're looking at trying to find the angle, it's half of the arc equals my inscribed angle. So in this case, we're trying to find what my inscribed angle is, so it's half of 144. So this is 72, okay? In this case, I'm trying to find out what this angle is. Arc CE is 146, so half of 146 is 73. So I'm gonna ask you guys to try these next couple ones. Okay. So in this case, we're just trying to find out what the arc is. Okay, so it's half of the arc equals angle. So half of question mark will equal 30. So what does that question mark have to be? It's going to have to be 60. Okay. In this case, it's half of the arc, which is question mark again, is going to equal 80. So half of what gets me 80? That is 160. Hopefully that helps out, guys. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to ask you guys to try the next few for me, and have a great day.